Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is Straight Talk No Chase. We are back again, and we are better than ever again.
Awesome.
I am your brother, the Juice Man Dan.
It's Cosby Digital in the building.
It's your girl, Miss Smith.
And I am Trip Simpson. Happy to be with you on this wonderful Thursday evening. People.
Had to inward rig my headphones, y'all. Sorry about that.
Magnavox did that to you, sir.
Hey.
Let this be a lesson.
This is the last week of the Magnavox.
Let this be a lesson.
Shout out to Magnavox.
Let this be a lesson on three of you cheap motherfuckers.
Hey, look, I got these from CVS, okay?
Maria got the motherfucking old iPhone joints.
Okay, so these are all right.
Good Lord.
I didn't even know you could do a podcast with those.
Hey,
All right.
learn something new every day.
Yeah, I think we lost all 10 viewers.
Oh, no.
It's all good, though.
They'll be back.
All right. So, what we got going on today?
Man, we had a lot of great things to discuss today. The thing that's dominating the airwaves today was the Democratic debate, aka the Hunger Games show. It was a mad free for all last night.
Definitely.
I think it was a good thing though, because they've been playing nice for the last couple months and not really trying to expose each other.
I don't think so.
I think so. That was a turning point.
They've been
sparring. They've been throwing little.
They went from sparring to full.
They was throwing haymakers last night.
Elizabeth Warren had the hacksaw Jim Duggan joint. Just came swinging, and whoever got hit got hit.
Bloomberg got hit a couple times.
Oh, a lot of times.
Did you see Klobuchar's face though? Every time she say something to her, she was looking so shocked, like, what?
Yeah,
Are you calling me stupid?
It's good to see her though, because you remember that show from the 80s, Small Wonder, the little fucking robot girl? That's who the fuck she sounds like.
I never seen that show.
Hilarious.
She sounds like Small Wonder, man.
That is hilarious.
I don't think I'm old enough for that cartoon.
It used to come on right before Alf.
Well, look,
Another cartoon I ain't old enough for.
if any of you guys haven't seen it, we got a little short 3.5 minute clip. We'd like to show you, just so you can get familiar with the conversation. We're going to show it real quick. It's about 3.5-4 minutes. Bear with us. Take a look at it, and then we'll get this conversation started on the Democratic Hunger Games.
Look at this shit.
Women, fat broads, and horse-faced lesbians.
He calls somebody a horse-faced lesbian.
Bloomberg.
I'm a philanthropist who didn't inherit his money, but made his money. And I'm spending that money to get rid of Donald Trump, the worst president we have ever
Spending
had.
money to
Let's
do
put
that
forward
shit.
somebody who actually lives and works in a middle-class neighborhood in an industrial Midwestern city. Let's put forward somebody who's actually a Democrat.
If speaking
It's
to
old,
the needs
I'm so
and
tired
the
of it.
pain of a long-neglected working class is polarizing, I think you got the wrong word. Maybe it's a time for the working class of this country to have a little bit of power in Washington rather than your billionaire campaign contributions.
Look.
Listen.
Really has a slogan that was thought up by his consultants to paper over.
That wasn't even the worst. She said
That would leave
Her shit was on a
millions
Post-it
of
note.
people unable to afford their health care. It's not a plan, it's PowerPoint. And Amy's plan is even less. It's like a Post-it note. Insert plan here.
We adopted a policy which
You're supposed to hit the gun bells on that
all
one.
big police departments use of stop and frisk. What happened, however, was it got out of control. And when I discovered that we were doing too many stop and frisks.
Too
We
many.
cut 95% of it out.
The reason the stop and frisk changed is because Barack Obama sent.
He riding that Obama
Yes, he
coattail, boy.
is. Yes, he
Damn.
is.
When we sent them
Coattail, he
there,
got the ride.
this
Right,
practice has to
look.
stop. The mayor thought it was a terrible idea. We send them there.
The language he used is about
There you
stop
go.
and frisk. It's about how it turned out. No, this isn't about how it turned out. This is about what it was designed to do to begin with. It targeted communities of color. It targeted black and brown men from the beginning.
Several former employees have claimed that your company was a hostile workplace for women. When you were confronted about it, you admitted making sexually suggestive remarks, saying, quote, "That's the way I grew up." In a lawsuit in the 1990s, according to the Washington Post, one former female employee alleged that you said, quote, "I would do you in a second."
I would do you in a
Democrats expect better from their nominee?
I have no tolerance for the kind of behavior that the Me Too movement has exposed.
Couldn't even say me.
There's anything wrong in our company. We
fear in his heart.
investigate it. If it's appropriate, they're gone that day.
He has gotten some number of women, dozens, who knows, to sign non-disclosure agreements, both for sexual harassment and for gender discrimination in the workplace. So, Mr. Mayor, are you willing to release all of those women from those non-disclosure agreements so we can hear their side of the story?
Look at his face. He's stuck. He's stuck.
He wasn't ready.
Stuck. He wasn't ready.
Non-disclosure agreements.
How many
Let
is
me
that?
finish. None of them accuse me of doing anything other than maybe they didn't like the joke I told.
If they wish
I would
now
do
to
you.
speak out and tell their
joke.
side of the story about what it is they allege, that's now okay with you? You're releasing them on television tonight?
Senator? No. The best-known socialist in the country happens to be a millionaire with 3 houses.
Damn.
Work in Washington, House Wars,
Damn.
live in Burlington, House 2.
That's good.
And like thousands of other Vermonters, I do have a summer camp. Forgive me for that. Where is your home?
What is the summer camp? I don't even.
New York City, thank you very much, and I pay all my taxes.
Let me tell you what it's like to be in the arena. You've memorized a bunch of talking points and a bunch of things, but I can tell you one thing. What the people of this country want, they want a leader that has the heart for the immigrants of this country, and that is me.
How you gonna put the laugh track on Amy like that? Dead wrong.
You don't have to be in Washington to matter.
I'm running because so many people.
You're dead, son. You're dead.
That's it.
They ain't have to do my man Joe like that.
Damn.
They ain't have to do my man Joe
They
like that.
straight silenced that man.
So,
How do you unpack that shit?
wow. Where do we start with this? Juice Man, I like your thoughts.
So listen. Do you remember when you were in elementary school and you saw people running for class president in the auditorium, and they said everyone down, and motherfuckers would promise new fucking new goddamn soda lounges.
Right.
We're gonna have a kids lounge.
Pizza
We're gonna
parties.
have extra
Every
recess.
Friday.
And what happens the next school year when they get elected?
Nothing.
That's what this was, man. This shit is WWF, and it's entertaining. I was entertained. I don't take it serious, but it was.
I mean,
It was entertaining.
Pure
bro.
entertainment.
Maria, what are your thoughts?
It was a shit show. I really felt like I was in elementary school and everybody was like on the playground, you know, like with two people about to fight and they just talking about everything that person did. Like everybody's snitching on everybody so they won't get in trouble. Like, It was too much.
I thought it was pretty funny. Number one,
Exactly.
I thought it was pretty funny. But number two, from a political point of view, I thought it was very important because I think they had been playing with each other with kid gloves up until then. They've been throwing little jabs here, little jabs there. Like they would hit Biden on some of the little funny stuff he was doing, or they'd shoot shots at Buttigieg because he was raising money from all the millionaires and billionaires. They would say Bernie ain't a real Democratic socialist. But they've been throwing little kid punches back and forth. Tonight it was no holds barred. They was coming in with haymakers. That shit when she said your policy is on a post-it note. I almost lost my motherfucking drink.
Yo,
my man said the biggest socialist in America has 2 mansions
and $3 million.
$3 million. And he said, I have a summer camp.
What the fuck is a summer camp? Well, I guess you gotta be from Vermont to have a summer camp. I'm assuming that's a summer home.
Yeah, he had a summer home for his old ass.
This was wild. I mean, this just really just solidified the death of all their campaigns. Even though Elizabeth Warren, in my opinion, was the strongest one last night, her campaign's been dead. I mean, I think her campaign's been dead ever since. Her campaign has been dead ever since she got caught pretending to be a Native American.
I think that's why she goes so hard, because she knows she's already lost. So she's like, fuck, I can say whatever I want now.
She had to come out when she got exposed for being a fake Native American. I think that was kind of like the end point.
Real life $5 Indian.
But as far as Biden goes last night,
he stayed out the way.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it kind of solidifies the end of his campaign too. I mean, the people that he's betting the farm on, which are illegal immigrants, that was them yelling in the crowd last night. Why did you and Obama deport 3 million people?
Yeah, but I think Biden has been trying to ride off Obama's coattail, and I think it's a little bit too late for it now.
Nah, I would say this: we don't know if Biden's campaign is viable until we hit the black states. Now, if he starts coming out on top in South Carolina, Nevada, places where it's a larger black population.
You just say Nevada?
Yeah, Nevada has very large.
He already lost Nevada.
By how much?
I
think he came in second though.
No, Buttigieg and Sanders came out on top of Nevada.
So he came.
Sanders
in
was like, no, he was like in 7th place.
That's close enough.
They're all. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
And 7th place close enough.
Listen. We might
wait till South Carolina.
Wait till South Carolina. I'll tell you what. We might as well wait for another 4 years
of Trump,
Donald Trump, because none of these motherfuckers are going to be able to beat him.
Yeah.
In Bloomberg, oh my God, that shit ended quick, didn't it?
Man, what?
Grand opening, grand closing.
Nah, if anybody got $60 billion, it ain't over until it's over.
Bro,
all they gonna do is throw money.
He came into the race 2 weeks ago and is polling
he said
second.
that shit.
So he got.
Yeah, he did.
So we've seen. That's why I really wanted to name this episode. Can this election be bought?
Bro,
it's gonna be
grassroots
to against the bag.
Done, bro.
Yeah,
like I said,
done.
Like I said a while ago,
these candidates are all done.
So
they don't have the electric.
I think what we fail to realize though,
they don't have it.
This group is a little bit more politically savvy than the average American. They are influenced heavily by social media, by television, by things that we don't necessarily get influenced by. And he is dropping the bat. He buying social media influencers. He's buying commercials. You got to look at the same thing that Cambridge Analytica, all those ads and shit that really got Trump's base fired up before the 2016 election. People paid attention to that,
bro.
And he's taking that same strategy and putting it on steroids.
But
so it's to remain to be seen.
It's a big difference. See, the difference is Donald Trump actually appealed to his base. Bloomberg is not appealing to any base.
Bloomberg doesn't even have a base.
Consists of
He
the
doesn't
Democratic
have a base.
Party.
He's not a Democrat.
He's getting his ass ripped wide open for stop and frisk.
Yep.
He's sexual harassment is already out there. I mean, immigrants don't like him. Who's going to vote for him?
I think the precedence has been set that all of these dings and tropes, if you got enough money, it don't matter. Trump literally won the election. It was 6 weeks before he was on tape saying grab them by the pussy.
Trump's base doesn't care about any of that shit.
Yeah, Trump.
So hold on. So you're assuming a white liberal elite base cares about Bloomberg's transgressions?
Well, the people that they're pandering to is what I mean.
Yeah. Did you not hear how they were talking?
So, but this the thing: the people that they pandering to, it's been proven. If you write a big enough check, they may not outright support you, but they're not going to criticize you. And if they don't criticize you,
it's been proven
you can't be hurt.
It's been proven how.
So he got I'm about to name some people.
No.
I'm about to say
the last three Democrats.
Name
the last
mayors.
3 Democrats who have been elected president, and I can tell you that you're wrong.
I think we got a different argument going right here. We're talking about, can he co-op support with his checkbook? He absolutely can. He's bought a lot of support so far. He's bought
not enough.
He's still buying. He ain't even been in it that long. So I look at a ground game strategy, right? When people were saying Trump can't win, this was his strategy. He was buying support, silencing this area, making moves behind the scenes.
That's false,
bro.
Because
how?
if you step outside of your own world, and if you talk to or been around people in Trump's base, nigga, it don't have nothing to do with what he bought. they like the fact that he says what they want to say. He's igniting the people that are voting for him.
Trump was selling out stadiums like Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
no, the fuck he was not.
Yes, he was.
Name one stadium he sold out.
Every one of them.
He did not sell out any stadium.
Not a literal stadium, but what I'm saying is his campaign.
He literally didn't say
his campaign was on fire.
He was literally buying. He was literally paying for people to be in his crowds for his first couple debates. When he went full white supremacist, then he started getting real. He said, well, I got to double down with this. I thought he had a good double down strategy. He was like, fuck trying to play it cool. I'm going all the way right and see how this shit turns out.
So listen to what you just said. Now, who in this debate has anything they could double down on?
I think it's two extremes. I think Bernie Sanders can double down.
Man, Bernie's done. Double down on what?
College,
let me tell you why they proved Bernie wrong.
Healthcare for all.
Don't nobody care about that shit?
Yes, they do.
I don't care about free healthcare.
No, you don't, but people do.
People care about it. But Bernie Sanders, otherwise. Bernie got bodied.
I care about student loans.
Because they exposed the fact that what he's trying to do is going to cost fucking $50 trillion fucking dollars.
But you gotta realize that's always been a conservative frame talking point.
No, Bernie's talking. He has never given any plan on how he's going to implement anything he said.
So when a Republican said, "I'm going to give tax cuts for the rich," did they ever say how they was going to pay for it?
Fuck no. None of
so
these
when they said we're going to
anything.
increase military spending, did they ever say how they were going to pay for it?
Listen, military spending is a lot different from free college and free healthcare for all.
So
that's a big difference.
So I'm gonna tell you why this is a Republican frame talking point, because he said on several occasions how he would pay for it. He said it would be a Wall Street transaction tax, and he said it would be a wealth tax.
That's why Bloomberg
So two things that aren't going to be talked about by the mainstream media, because the mainstream media is funded by people who do business on Wall Street and people who are wealthy. But he said this several times. So when I say it's a conservative frame talking point, it really is.
Listen, I agree with Maria. This is a shit show, and ain't none of these motherfuckers gonna
It's just a distraction.
I mean, I still like to throw a little facts in with the conjecture.
Well, I don't know how factual that is.
Yeah, but somebody, if anybody wants to Google how many times he said how I can pay for all the things, he said specifically a transaction tax less than 1% on transactions on Wall Street, and he also said,
do you know that there are other countries?
And he also said repatriating tax money from corporations that pay zero on taxes, like Amazon, like Apple. If you brought back all the taxes that Amazon has skated, you could pay for free college for everybody.
Are you a Bernie supporter?
Hold up.
Are you a Bernie supporter?
Apple, you can pay for
this is
free
how
healthcare. If you repatriate
this is how I know
taxes.
you're speaking from inexperience. Okay, first of all, there's no way you can stop Apple or any other big corporation from not paying taxes, because the tax codes and laws are set up in a way that billionaires, or even if you got a couple thousand, you don't really have to pay them.
Oh, I know.
If you know where to move your money, which they do, you don't pay him. He's talking out the side of his ass.
Hold on. So has
Bernie Sanders,
has that always existed?
Yes.
It has not.
Yes, it has.
It has not.
Bernie Sanders doesn't even pay no fucking taxes. He won't even release his records. Why? Because if he does, then we'll find out that he is a tax evader just like Donald Trump. The bottom line is the people who pay taxes are the people who go to work every day. And that's never going to fucking change.
I'll say this.
That ain't never going to change.
If something can be voted into place, something can be voted out of place.
You're not going to vote out irrevocable trust. You're not going to vote out private family foundation.
So once upon a time in America, they had large trusts. They had giant corporations, right, that were ruling the day. Much like that's why they compare the 2020 to something like the 1920s, 1930s. You had the robber barons, you had the Rockefellers, you had the Carnegies, and guess what happened, right? They was like, we can build trust big enough that nobody can break, until public sentiment turned on them. And when public sentiment turned, they broke up every large corporation. They enacted a wealth tax. That's where wealth tax came from. It happened back then. So what you're saying it could never happen has literally happened in history. So to you to say that I'm inexperienced, it's literally happened in American history.
So are you telling me?
I don't know if it's gonna happen now.
No. Are you telling me? So you're telling me it's a fact that the Rockefellers were victims of the Wealth Tax Act?
Well, not exactly the Wealth Tax Act. I'm saying that generation of business,
I want to know exactly what you're saying.
I'm saying that generation.
I want to know.
Stop talking. I'll tell you. That generation of business people led to these certain laws being enacted, the Antitrust Act, the Glass-Steagall.
What does the Antitrust Act consist of?
It consists of not letting corporations be too big where they can dominate the market.
That's not what it's about.
What is it about?
So, in a nutshell, because we could go on.
I gave you that was the nutshell. So you got to get a little
Somebody
deeper.
hit the fucking bell.
It's like
We can go on and on about this all day. Yeah. But what I'm going to tell you is there are certain ways and certain things that you can do with your money where you will not be paying taxes.
I'm not disputing that.
So
I agree with you.
Anybody who gets caught in these laws are just ignorant to what they could actually do.
So
see, there's a difference between ownership and control. Everybody thinks that Bloomberg, right, and Trump and Bezos, everybody thinks that these people own all of this shit. They don't own a goddamn thing. They control it. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Well, whether they own it or not, if you are incorporated or you have a corporation, you're still subject to certain laws. And if people Google why we came up with antitrust laws that still are in effect today, that Apple gets fined for, that mergers have been blocked recently, that they was like, no, these companies are too big, you can't get together. So you saying that companies and corporations aren't subject to these laws?
I'm not saying that.
And that
I'm talking about individual. I'm talking about individual people. That's what I'm talking about.
But this is not the argument. We talking about politics. It's not about individual people. People can vote changes, just like in the 80s.
We were talking about individual people paying taxes.
When people voted Reagan in and he changed the tax laws to favor rich people, it changed America. We went to Reaganomics. We're suffering the effect of Reaganomics right now.
Are we suffering the effects of Reaganomics?
Well, maybe not us in this room, but people are suffering from the effect of Reaganomics.
We're still suffering from the effects of slavery.
And that's
we're still suffering from that. I don't give a fuck about none of this other shit.
Well,
I don't give a fuck.
I'm just talking about, what I'm saying, just
I could care less about
put context on what we were actually talking about.
But as far as these Democrats
I just don't
go,
want you to kind of tap dancing around the.
I ain't tap dancing around nothing.
I think, and I believe. You sound like a Bernie supporter. Do you support Bernie Sanders?
No, he's already been. He's on the record. He's not a supporter.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just saying.
You're just talking about from the debate.
I like to put factual information in this podcast.
Well, I can tell you factual information. Bernie Sanders has run campaign after campaign and raised dollars and dollars and dollars and sold books and books and books.
And didn't pay
and
no
he sits there
taxes.
and talks this motherfucking social shit like he wants everybody to have it. Bernie Sanders is running campaign shows. He's figured out a way to make money every 4 years, and I'm just tired of him. He's old. He's not even going to make it through the presidency.
Do you agree with any of the policies that he's advocating?
No, I don't.
I don't.
Not free college?
No.
It's not.
Not forgiving student loans?
I don't.
I'll tell you why.
I don't agree.
Hold on, I'll tell you why I don't. And this is going to sound like a Republican talking point, and that's why I don't agree with being part of any fucking party. Bernie Sanders' policies have to be paid for by somebody. The only people that pay taxes are working class fucking citizens. So while it all sounds good, and while everybody that is young and in college age are supporting and championing all the ideas that Bernie Sanders has, it's just literally not realistic unless it's going to be on the backs of them in the next 5 to 10 years when they're paying all these extra fucking taxes for his policies. Period.
We're paying extra taxes for Republican policies right now. You're paying for the Bush. You're paying for the Bush tax cuts right now.
I made
out great with my taxes.
I was about to say, I will actually honestly kind of keep my shit to myself, but I have done pretty fucking well the last couple tax seasons.
So we're talking from the space of the average working American, correct?
I am an average American.
You can look at these
That's
European...
not what I said. We're talking from the space from an average working American, right?
You can look at these European countries who have these free healthcare, free college and all that, right?
Yeah.
They have all these things in place and life is great, but the citizens are being taxed out of their ass. And that is not going to fly in the United States of America. There's too many guns. There's too many guns.
So I think inherently that might be the wrong attitude to have. Like, I don't pay no taxes, but my kids can go to school free. It kind of, if you really do the math, if people actually did the math, like, an extra $100 versus $50,000. Because let's say you pay an extra $100 a year, right? And your kids can go to school for free.
The problem is this.
How much does school cost?
Here's another thing.
The problem is this. It's just like healthcare, right?
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
The problem with healthcare and the problem with college is not that everybody should go for free. The problem is that it costs too much fucking money. So if you're not going to go to these colleges and tell them to cut their prices, or go to these healthcare facilities and tell them to cut their prices, then you're not doing anything but robbing Peter to pay Paul.
I think you need to remove the profit margin and profit.
But that's
load.
what this country is
hold
based
on.
on.
But
You talking about unpacking a lot of shit.
So just because it's hard to do doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Hold up, Dan. Slow down, partner.
Unpacking a lot of
Slow down, partner. Slow down, buddy.
Traditionally, it's been a lot of things in this country that have been hard to do that we still got done. You feel what I'm saying? So if other countries,
like what, drop a bomb on Japan?
Industrialized countries could figure out how to do universal health care when the United States is the only industrialized nation that does not have it, that means we just the smartest ones out of everybody, or we the only dunces in the room.
We live in a corporation.
United States is already knee deep.
It's a corporation.
In capitalism.
It's a corporation.
We're knee deep.
You can't just pull back.
Or in terms of
just like
free college,
man.
Just like people say it couldn't happen at all, right? But state community colleges are free now. Look. So that was once a talking point. They said we can never have any free college. They won't take advantage of it. It costs too much money. But
Wi-Fi is free now too.
So for all the other people saying
I went to state community college.
Shit happens,
bro. You go to state community college. What do you get out of that?
Hey man,
you can see,
he's an elitist.
I'm not an elitist.
That was something elitists would say. Oh, you went to community college. What can you get out of it?
I went to community college.
I was personally offended.
I went to community college. I mean, honestly, it's easy as fuck.
You didn't have to do a thesis.
Everybody knows
it. In community college.
You know what community college proves? It proves that you really do want to get your shit together after high school. That's what it proves. You know what? I really do want to do something.
So do you think community college is a negative or positive?
It's hard to say.
It can be a positive.
It could be a positive because it could definitely instill discipline in people and get their minds on the right track. But it could also get people deeper and deeper into debt.
All college is,
but what about when it's free? It's no debt.
I hope no one takes offense to this, but all college is a bunch of motherfuckers that have learned how to follow rules after high school for an extra 4 years. You don't need college, and the game is making everybody think they have to go to college to be well educated and well versed. You can get certifications now or get a trade and make more money than most people that spend all this time going to college. I never went to college, and I make more money than most.
You did go to college, sir.
Well, I got kicked out of college.
Sound like a college hater to me.
But listen though.
He's biased. I got him out of there.
I just don't want nobody to fact check you before.
No. I did. I did.
I gonna pull that nigga transcript up.
I'm so far removed from it because I got kicked out after my first year of fucking college. But I came home, got into a career at 20 years old, and I don't have any student loan debt, and I'm making more money than most people who have graduated from college, and that's just from my career. That's not counting what I learned outside of college to how to handle and how to manage business. You don't fucking need college. It just teaches you how to follow rules and think that you're making a difference in society. There are some of us that actually are self-sufficient and can learn on our goddamn own. So fuck all this shit about free college. Everybody is not meant to go to college, and everybody doesn't need college.
So I'm on the fence. with the college situation. There you go. There's another.
Hey, I want the people building my buildings and doing surgery on me. I want y'all to go to college.
So I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence.
I'm saying not for everybody.
I think college is a good thing, network wise.
Yeah.
You get the network, right? And depending on what you're actually going to college for, I do, like, if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a biologist.
That's different.
Yeah.
You know? But, like,
niggas be going to college.
Liberal arts don't do it.
Right. There's a lot of, and we know them, a lot of people who went to college and got these humongous student debt loads, right?
This is secretaries.
Are the main ones on Facebook selling Herbalife. You know what I mean?
Tummy tea.
Hold on. Where's the petty button on the board? Press it. Press it right now.
I don't know.
It got to be the gunshot. That was a gunshot. No.
There's nothing wrong with selling Herbalife.
Yes, it is.
I'm just saying, like, and another thing that does get me about a lot of these, I graduated from college Negroes, right? They got this attitude like they just supposed to be making it. Like, I just find that so funny because I don't have a college degree.
Do pretty well, don't you?
Huh? I'm all right.
It's not for everybody. The game is to make everybody think that you need. I sat my daughters down. I got 17-year-old daughters, and I sat them down just last week. Now, my daughters are different, but I sat them down just last week, and I told them, if you don't want to go to college, first of all, I don't want to pay for college, but we're going to find what your future's going to be. Now, they want to go to college, so now I'm doing what I got to do to get them there. I know where they want to go. I know why they want to go. They explain what they want to do, and they know why they're going.
Okay.
So that's different than just when I went to college for that once. I went to college just to say I went to college. I didn't have any plan, any rhyme or reason. My mother, my father doesn't have a college degree. They wanted me to go to college because this seemed better. But it was no plan behind why I was going to college. And too many of our people, not our people, too many people, period, go to college just to say they go to college and you get a degree. And what does it mean if you don't have no meaning behind it?
And I mean, and we got to be honest too. It wasn't always from a place of malice, because at one time in America, if you did have a college degree, a bachelor's degree, it meant a whole lot more.
Right.
So I don't necessarily fault our parents' generation, because for them, college degrees changed their lives.
Right.
Will allow them to get into the government, allow them to do certain things that open doors for them. But we got to be realistic of the economy and the world we live in now. They didn't live in the internet age. They still had to go to the library. They was doing punch cards. Like, realistically, if your child doesn't have a computer in their school right now, get them out of that school, because there's no job that you use that of any significance where you don't have a computer.
I think the key word you said, though, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Parents. I think we should segue into a different topic here.
Hold on, let me just close on one more thing.
Okay.
Because I don't want to come off like a ignorant prick talking about fuck college, because that's not what I'm saying. So I'm reading the book.
That's kind of what you said.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's how I feel. But how I feel was how I feel. And everything I say is based off my personal experiences. Like, I don't give a fuck if nobody agrees with me or not. I say what I say based off what I've gone through. So right now I'm reading a book, and the book I'm reading is called The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. So in this book,
You's an educated Negro.
Yeah, I am an educated Negro.
An uneducated, educated Negro.
And guess what? Yeah, exactly. An uneducated, educated Negro. And I didn't have to have this on my college book list to read it. But anyways, so I'm reading this book. It's by Ralph Ellison, and it's a guy, unnamed character. He's comes from the South, and he's just moved up to Harlem. He was awarded a college. It was actually disparaging how he got his scholarship. He ended up in a battle royale fight. It was based off the 50s in the South. So it was a racist shit the way he got into college, but he was so thankful to go to college because nobody in his family had the opportunity. He ended up getting kicked out of college, ended up moving to Harlem. And get the book, all right? But what I'm saying is, to know what we had to go through to get to college, back then, I understand why our parents pushed us to go to college, because it was something that people had to fight and die and give us the opportunity. However, we have to evolve, and we have to understand that you don't need it to be a successful, productive citizen. And that's what I think is being pushed on people too much.
Yeah, I mean, they push it on you, say that you need it. In some instances you do, in most you don't. But I think that just goes to show you how far behind that generation really was.
Not far behind.
They were, because the previous generations was up on like the new, like, I think progress stopped at the baby boomers.
You hate the fucking baby.
I don't hate them. I see what it is.
It kind of did.
Progress.
What is the baby boomers' age?
They are 55 to 67.
I can't say that though, because 67-year-olds.
No, maybe 70, 55 to 70. Something
Nah,
like that.
man, you can't say that, bro. Because they started. The torch was not.
You're totally wrong.
Nah, man.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you
I don't think
finish.
it's the baby boomers. I think it's the generation after the baby boomers.
No, I think it's the baby boomers.
Nah, man. I think it was
the
age.
baby boomers.
Nah, man.
Came straight out of the civil rights era. They was born.
You're talking about right after the civil rights era.
They was born in the civil rights era. So they came up. They grew up after Dr. King and them died and did all that shit.
Okay, we talking about that one.
Yeah. Right? They got handed the baton. They were the first ones to get affirmative action and all that shit. They got their shit. They forgot about doing politics.
So you talking about our parents' age, not our grandparents' age?
No, our grandparents' age put the work in.
Yeah, they did. That's why I thought when you say baby boomers, I'm thinking the old motherfuckers.
Our grandparents, they put the work in. What I'm saying is when our parents, and I'm not talking about my parents in particular, or I could be.
As he likes to quote the generation that smoked crack and left us.
what I'm saying is
left us for dead. Left us for dead.
But that's literally in general, that's what they did. That's what they did. That's what they did.
So now that we have the baton, what do we do with it?
First of all, we don't have a baton. We have an empty crack pipe. We don't have a baton. Here, take this. I don't think there's anything left.
Not an empty crack pipe.
So, we didn't get a baton.
All right, well, let me ask you a question.
Maybe
then.
a boat sack.
Let me ask you a question.
I mean, think about it though. With all this shit going around, like I'm telling you, what they smoked out, in their 20s and early 30s, they smoked everything.
How you really feel.
Listen, they smoked everything that Reagan and Bush put on the street. And then when they got tired of smoking that shit and realized, oh, damn, we fucked up. When they got their shit together, what did they do? What did they do?
They left us here to vote for these Democrats.
Bill Clinton played the sax, and they all voted for Bill Clinton. Yep. And then Bill Clinton locked all their motherfucking kids up.
So what do you think we do now with this? We're talking about the battle royale. And
what do we do right now?
What do we do now?
We dismiss all of these motherfuckers.
And then go with?
First of all, we concentrate on ourselves. We concentrate on our community. But we still have to be politically minded. But we have to know we can't give in to the Democrats until they give in to us. We basically playing chicken with these motherfuckers right now. It's the black community here
too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're pandering.
Yeah, and you can tell they need us, but they don't want to admit it.
It's a nigga in every single Bloomberg ad I've ever seen. This nigga just cut.
He gonna have a Popeye cigarette in his neck.
Nigga walk past the screen or something. It's nigga.
But your man Trump always had one nigga with a Make America Greater hat behind him.
You got to think they're pandering to immigrants, right, and Latinos and all these people, right? But at the end of the day, Latinos ain't voting for them. Why? Because a lot of Latinos, right? A lot of Latinos in the back of their mind, they want to be white.
You know what I think we should do?
They want to be white. So
you know what I think we should do? I think we should do.
Why would they want to be grouped into people of color with us?
You know what I think we should do?
They ain't come over here for that.
We should do what the fucking.
They ain't come over here for that.
At all.
No.
Put your no much.
They didn't come over here for that shit.
Listen, they came over here for.
I didn't leave Mexico. Look, I didn't leave Mexico disrespecting niggas to come over to America and be a nigga.
We did not land on Plymouth Rock.
They came for the white picket fence and the white privileges.
Hey, whole time we all want the white picket fences. At the end of the day, it's about how you go about getting it.
All right, we was about to segue to another topic. Where we going with that?
We were talking about the baby boomers.
Oh yeah.
He has to get back. He's not finished. He's not finished.
Get the baby boomers.
I mean, honestly, I love them to death, right? But they really need to be put in their place because they're the main ones who always talking shit about some younger generation. Pull up your pants.
That's every
do this.
That's every generation though. Every generation does that.
But it hurts coming from them. It stings.
Not pull up your pants.
Cause it's like, no, you niggas literally fell for the banana, aka crack, in the tailpipe.
You're really mad at them for
I ain't
smoking
gonna lie,
crack.
this is the generation where we live in Washington, D.C. The mayor got caught smoking crack.
I love Mary Berry.
I love Berry.
I love Berry.
Talk bad about Mary Berry.
And he got reelected. That just goes to show you what was going on during that time. They be like, hey, that's all right.
But
little crack ain't hurt.
Sure
bring him on back.
He still was a good mayor.
The main point being, though, they're the main ones telling you to still vote Democratic. when it's like clear and utterly obvious that these people do not want to give us anything? Why should we continue to vote for them? See, their generation was smart. The generation that preceded them was smart. They were Republican. But then they put the pressure on the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party instituted the civil rights laws, so then they voted Democratic. Once they realized, okay, you're gonna give us something, we'll vote for you. Right. The baby boomers just was like, okay, we just gonna vote for these motherfuckers no matter what. They didn't do any politics. They partied too hard.
True. That's why I hate.
That's
why I hate, and I hate to hear when people tell me, from majority times from the baby boomer generation, people died for your right to vote. Yeah, your parents.
No, they didn't.
No. Listen. They died for your right to vote, right? However, what are you voting for if you're just giving your vote away? You're not. There's nothing science. There's nothing behind it.
And this is a common thing of like children of wealthy people, right? Where they don't have to work to accumulate the wealth. Right. They often squander it away, or they really don't necessarily achieve anything in life because that life has already been given to them. But then that next generation follows them, builds the wealth back up. It's like the first generation after wealth is somewhat lazy, and that's a thing. And I think, like, to Tripp's point,
be careful how you use the word wealth, though.
Yeah, I mean, just a comparison that if you have stuff given to you, like you said, they didn't have to fight for it. They were in the boom time of America where it was racist, but not so racist. Like it was. I mean, you can be a black CEO. You can own a bit. Like they lived in that time, like that late 70s through
early
like
80s.
Early 80s. It was cranky.
Well, they lived in the prime time of the
to me, the prime time of America.
The decadent veil. But see, but that time was also a game, because they put a couple of Negroes on TV and tell you that they're rich. All of a sudden, you think you fucking made it. Meantime, you haven't really fucking made it. Look around your neighborhood. Just because Oprah's on TV, with fucking.
I think that's like little time of like right before Reagan and maybe the first 2 years, they was having it up. And that generation is the byproduct of, like I said, what y'all were talking about. And they didn't have to fight as hard for. They were able to go to like it was not necessarily any real barriers for them. If you could work hard enough and have some guidance, you can maneuver like no other generation. Yeah. So, man, I'm with you on that.
So, there's no disrespect to no baby boomers and nothing like that.
No disrespect.
No, it ain't.
They don't listen to this show anyway.
No, they definitely don't.
No, but on God, like,
my auntie, honestly, what's up, auntie and uncle? They listen to the show.
It's honest criticism, though. I mean, like, they criticize everybody else, so you want to take yours just like you want everybody to take theirs.
Take it on the chin.
You know what I mean?
Hit the bell on that one.
Come on, that's kind of pushing it.
God damn, you're on a roll tonight, man.
Hey, man.
You're on a roll, man. What else we got, man?
I think we should go to the relationship situation.
Yeah, let's lighten the mood up a little bit.
All right, Maria.
All right, so y'all know I asked y'all to, send me questions, send me relationship situations on my Instagram, @Smith. So I saw this situation and I posted it, and it got like a lot of feedback. A lot of men and women were talking about it. So we gonna go into like spouses and money. Money. Okay, so here's the situation. My cousin left her husband and he keeps accusing her of cheating, but really she left him because he makes twice what she makes and was still insisting on her paying half the bills. Sis says she would rather pay all her bills and not be bothered by him. Good for her. So.
Hold on. Say that last part again.
She just said good for her.
She would rather.
She would rather pay all her bills and not be bothered by him. So instead of paying half of the bills, since he makes more than her, she would rather, if I got to pay half, I might as well pay all my bills and be bothered.
Hold on. Who makes more than who?
He makes twice as much as her.
More than she does.
She just don't want to be in a relationship no more.
She pays half the bills.
So what is she suggesting?
The point is that with him making more money, why should she have to pay half of the bills? If that's the case, she might as well pay all of her bills and just not be bothered with him at all.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, I mean, we need a little more information.
Yeah,
like-
I mean, look, I ain't got no.
so he
like,
makes
look,
double.
like,
He makes double than she does.
than what she makes, right? And he's insisting that she pay half of the bill.
So okay.
First of all, how much do they make?
Yeah.
We don't know these numbers.
I mean, if he makes $300,000 a year and she makes 150, or does he make 50 and she make 25? Like,
Depends on how you do it. I can share how I do it in my household and how it works for us. I probably do make twice as much as my significant other, but we also do other things on the side together. However, anything we make goes into one pot. It's not because I make more or she makes less. Nah, what we bring into the household is what we bring into our household. And we have our own little separate accounts over here. She has a separate account over there. We put our money in to pay all our bills, and it works for us. It's hard to answer a relationship question about numbers and money because everybody's situation when it comes to money is different.
I do think if he makes double what she makes, so I'm going to assume they're at least, middle class?
Yeah.
I'm going to assume they're middle class. I mean, if you make double what somebody makes, I definitely think it's a little asinine to
insist
they pay half because the numbers are like not right.
What were their situation though?
But
it depends on their situation.
I don't think so, especially if they're making twice as more than them. It doesn't really matter what the situation is.
I think here's a scenario.
If they're insisting that you have to pay half. You have to pay half.
Here's a scenario. Let's say they got together, right? And when they got together, they were making close to the same amount, and they were used to splitting the bills. Homeboy got a promotion. Now he's making more. So should he take on more responsibility, or should they both continue to split the bills how they were?
I mean, first of all, though, what kind of promotion? Like, okay, so you got a promotion that doubled your salary. Okay. Number one, don't up your bills just because you made more, just because you got a promotion.
That's a fucking fact.
True.
Don't up your bills. But number two, I don't know. It's hard because it depends on how you really look at the situation. Like, first of all, as a man, even let's say the roles were reversed, you definitely pay half.
Yeah.
As a man, you definitely pay half because you're a man. You're supposed to provide. You know. Even though the world as we know it today is fucked up because it's damn near impossible for a man to do that, you gotta step up and take their role. I can't see myself as a man making double what the female makes, making her pay the same that I pay. That's kind of ridiculous.
That's why, and that's why that's why I say every situation is different because in this situation in specific, okay, so it's like, okay, was this his that she moved into? All right, so
are they married?
She said spouse, so I'm assuming that they're married.
If they're married, then everything should go in a pot.
In a pot, exactly. So that's why I'm like, see, too many people take on the role of being married and don't understand that when you actually marry somebody, you got to figure out a way to budget your finances together. My last situation, we ain't budget a motherfucking thing together. I found out this motherfucker had money on the side that I had no knowledge of. That to me is come on, we're not even working together. It's not even a partnership. When you're in a marriage, you're in a partnership. And the most important thing in a partnership is just how you look at it with business. If the business is not right and the finances are not right, what the fuck are you in it for? You have to fucking figure out how the money situation gonna work. That's how so many people end up in divorces because they don't figure out the money part.
I got a quote from one of my favorite books, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, right? You got to know each other's money blueprint. So if you get into a marriage and you don't know this person is a saver, an extreme saver, you know what I'm saying? And you trying to figure out why they going skimp on everything, why they not trying to bust down no money with you, none of that stuff. It's because their money blueprint is, I'm saving for the future. I'm saving for my future freedom. You might get with a spender. Like, all right, we going to save just enough to say we comfortable, but I'm trying to enjoy life. I'd rather buy a pair of sneakers than save my money. I'd rather go on this vacation than try to save for a rainy day. And if you don't have these conversations up front,
that's true.
Right.
You're going to be at odds because you guys value money differently. Some people value it as fun. Some people value it as security. So if you haven't figured that out, you probably should do that.
A lot of us
I'm
get
gonna
married
read
for
some
love.
of the comments that people.
That's a very good outlook on things.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna read some of the comments that people left. So this one guy said, that says a lot about her character. The term marriage is a partnership. When people don't think along those lines, then that's not what they're looking for.
Yeah.
This chick, a female, she said, firstly, the inner workings of their relationship should have been discussed before they got married. Strict 50-50 relationships are fine if that's what they agree to and how they want to live. With that being said, I do not blame her. She's not trying to live for free, as evidenced by her leaving him to pay full rent at her own place. She just didn't want no roommate. I get it. That was the type of what? I don't know what they said. That was.
Did you post this on Black Planet?
No, I posted this. Shut up. I posted this on Instagram. Look, that was the type
They ain't too smart on Instagram. You better want to go to Facebook.
Okay. That's what she meant. She wrote the wrong word. That was the type of man who probably wanted her to go out and work, then come home and cook and clean for him. Wanted her to carry and have his children, but only stay on maternity leave for 2 months.
She
so she could hurry up and get back to work in order to pay her half, when really he could afford the whole thing and then some. He's selfish and is clearly not a provider. There are plenty of men who don't mind taking care of their women because he understands that we bring so much more to their lives than only money. A woman should always hold her man down, especially when times are tough. So if she was leaving him because he was struggling at the moment, I wouldn't be feeling it. But this ain't that.
I would like to answer her personally.
Can I say one thing real quick though?
Go ahead.
First of all, just because he makes double what she makes doesn't mean he has double the money.
Right.
Yeah. If the bills are already fucked up.
That's true.
And
trying to get out of a hole.
Not only that,
That's true.
just because he makes double doesn't sound to me like he wants her to come home and cook and clean and all that shit. That was not even talked about.
Just bring some fucking McDonald's.
What it sounded like to me was this was a woman that wanted to get out of the fucking marriage and she found a way out. She wanted to get out of it. So look, why would you say, okay, he's asking you to pay half. Instead of trying to figure that out, you just pack up and leave and then go pay full rent and everything else somewhere else.
So it wasn't about the money.
It wasn't about the money. If you want to fucking leave, just say you want to leave. Be honest. A lot of women keep saying that. A lot of women and men get into marriages with a single mindset.
But I mean, I also feel like it depends on how things started, right? So if initially how things were with them was that he would always, like front, the bills, would pay for whatever, and then it got to the point to where, okay, well, when they moved in or whatever the case may be, it was like, okay, we going to split this. However, he makes twice as much as she do, and he's insisting. When someone is insisting, if you're insisting that your wife pay half and you're making double, that I can understand the problem.
I think it's
However,
a lot more to that
I think
situation.
that I don't think that she shouldn't pay anything, but you're talking about half the bills. That means like splitting everything down.
That might be part of a financially sound program though.
I think,
if she came in and like, hey, we need to upgrade the apartment or we need to upgrade to the bigger house. I would like this certain clothes and bags and shoes. And he like, well, that's all well and good, but
we gotta these gotta be
still
taken
have
care
to be
of.
paid. And as a responsible adult, if he's saying you just need to pay half of the bills, and let's say you going on vacations, you driving what you want to drive, you're eating what you want to eat, that's fair to me.
Make it work. It goes back to your first point where you said you got to know each other's financial history and background, because if you don't.
And real quick, the phone number is 240-270-2041. Call up if you have something to say. If there's anybody out there.
Anybody out there?
So look, somebody else said, I don't see a problem. If anybody wants to leave for whatever reason, you have to let them go. You can't make anybody stay. I hate to see people break up over money because it comes and goes. But people have different values. When values aren't aligned, breakups are the best solution.
But to me, sometimes it's not about the money. It's the principle. It's like, yo, if I'm telling you, because I don't know many guys that's going to try to make their wife pay something that they don't really need. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, look, we need to fill in some holes around here. I just need you to do this. Fill in this one hole. Right. And I ain't say do the whole thing. It's half.
Sometimes you got to dig yourself.
But half can be a lot, though.
Depends on the situation.
Half can be a lot.
Sometimes you got to. Sometimes you have to work together. Might got to dig yourself out of a hole for a little bit. The half situation may not even have been all the time. He may have been like, let's do this half thing for now, and next year when shit's back on top, we can take it back. You never know where the situation's going to be. Maybe he's more financial savvy than she is.
That's true.
Just like in some situations, sometimes the woman, my wife is more financial savvy than me. So a lot of times I got to follow when it comes to the money. It don't make me feel less of a man. I just know she's better with money than I am, even if I make more money. The money management comes from where the person is more responsible. So if she was probably out there buying bags and shit, he probably said, like Cohen said, look, babe, just put this money on the fuck. Just put half down. You can buy all the bullshit you want to buy. You can do what you want to do. You can go on the trips with your girlfriends and do all that. And she, to me, sounds like she didn't want to take advice or leadership from the financial savvy person in the group. It's not always about just making somebody pay half or I make more money than you. That sometimes you have to, the person that is smarter financially makes better decisions, and sometimes the person that is not good financially might not want it, so she just fucking left. That's what it sounds like to me.
So then it
That's
goes
my opinion.
To the question.
I'm always
where,
wrong,
You know,
though.
some women feel like if you're married, then your husband should provide, and that's what he should do.
I think some people need to stop reading fairy tale books and understand that we're in the 20s. Y'all want to be independent until it's time to fucking get. Everybody wants to be independent. Everybody wants to be independent.
You know, the funny part to me is that people just really don't understand what kind of world we're living in.
They don't.
Number one, we can thank feminism because when we lived in a world where men could go out in the workplace and work, find work, and take care of an entire family with a basic job.
We want to work too.
You know what I mean? That was okay, but then everybody's a feminist and you're tired of this and you're tired of that. Now you have women who saturated the workplace, right? Yeah. So now everybody's fighting for the same fucking jobs, right? Now we gotta go 50-50.
Yeah,
we got to.
Look at. You could go downtown in DC. Look around. You have a lot of women that are in their government suits. You know what I'm saying? They got their little. Most of them got.
The women have taken over the security guard field.
Yeah, the security guard field too. Yeah, definitely. But I'm just saying, most men.
They have.
If you could have saw the righteous indignance on his face just now.
He was like, "Whoa!" Like what the?
A lot of women make more money than men these days. So it's just like if I come into a situation, just listen. If you come into a situation, you're the woman now. You meet a young man.
I am a woman.
Yes, you are one. You make $100,000 a year. Your man makes $50,000 a year. You already have a house. He's moving into your house. You already have a car. He's leasing a car. The bills have been in your name for the last 10 years. Now, this guy swipes you off your feet. You love him. You guys get married. You're like, son, you're going to have to pay half. Because if he's moving into your space as a woman, has been taking care of her shit for the last 10 years, and you meet this man and he moves into your house within 2 years of a relationship, are you expecting him to pay half? Or are you saying, I make more money, baby, I got it? Now, the reason I'm asking you this is because, and I want you to answer this question. The reason I'm asking is because there are so many women that want to be independent, but when the roles are reversed, they turn into a woman.
Right.
They're not independent. God. Say that shit one more time,
So
man.
many women want to be independent, but when the roles are reversed, they're no longer independent.
And I agree with you.
Jesus Christ.
I agree that is definitely how it is. However,
Lord.
I feel like a man is a provider, right? So I feel like a man is to provide for his family.
Okay.
Now, if I'm in the situation to where I make more, I still feel like certain bills that man I'm with, meaning my husband, not my boyfriend, not no living, my husband should definitely take care of, things that are providing for his family.
Then Maria, you may want to move to Delaware. You may
and I'm
want
not saying that I'm
just saying you may want to cut back.
Nothing like that. That's
you may
want to
cut back on the some of the finer things that you like, because in this world that we live in right now, that shit is not realistic.
I know women specifically in this area that own their own homes, have very well-paying jobs, have cars, and are just looking for a motherfucking man.
I ain't gonna lie. The last couple Jones I dated, they was one making 120, 150.
Yeah. And
So,
I know we are killing it out
And on
here.
paper, they got more money than me.
So how do
that?
How do those women that are successful, what are they expecting the man that they marry to do? Those are independent women.
Because guess what? This is the conundrum these women are in.
Yeah.
The same independent struggles they support, feminist wise, also marginalize black men.
That's it.
So the same black men that they want to be on their level, based upon the things they're supporting, are marginalize them on the other end. So there's not going to be a lot of guys making what they make. Right. You know what I'm saying? Especially like you said, if you live in the DC area, the ratio is like 18-1 right now.
Right.
So Cohen's living great right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
the resident single man on the panel, I ain't gonna lie, just maybe in the 80s, or let's say the roles were reversed, right? I dated probably within the last few years, right? At least 5 or 6 women that made $100,000 plus, had houses, doing well for themselves. But I can still find things that you got that, but I'm not attracted to you in this way, or I don't like the way you fucking raise your kids.
Right. Or you might make more money than me,
or you clean,
but you got a mole
or
on
you
the side of your
clean as a
neck.
motherfucker. That's not what I like. But the point is, I'm still able to discriminate. Like, I don't have to settle just because this woman has quote unquote stability or means, because that's the new normal. And as long as I have my own stability and means, I don't have to settle for that.
Here's my thing. If you are someone's husband and this is your wife, your job as husband and wife is to make sure you come up with a financial secure plan that's going to take care of your household. It don't matter when you're married about this person makes that and that person makes that. I'm independent. You're not independent. I'm good. No, in a marriage, you make it work financially for your marriage. In a relationship, boyfriend or girlfriend type situation, hey, get it how you live. You're going to pay half. But in a marriage, we sit down and figure out what works best for the family.
We put the pay stubs together.
I agree that when you're in a marriage, you definitely figure out what works best for you guys.
For the unit, your partnership.
Right. And I'll say this, honestly, just get with somebody that's just on your wave.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
All
I don't
other
know.
stuff.
Get on the same way before you get married.
When you go out to happy hour and you going on these dates, talk about your finances. That's something I'm not afraid to talk about when I'm going out, because you got to find out what people are thinking, right? If you're thinking you're saving for a vacation and a vacation home, and they value eating out every night more than that, that might not be the person for you. If she grew up in a household where her father took care of all the bills, took care of everything, and she sees a man as a strict provider and that's her archetype, that might not be the woman for you.
Backgrounds are very important.
So when you on these dates, stop trying to look cute and really just drink martinis. Really get down to the nitty gritty while you getting turned up.
That's a fact. I agree.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. I mean, you have to honestly the reason that we have this portion of the show is just to try and get more in depth with the relationships between men and women, specifically, or most importantly, black men and black women.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Because that's the sore spot or the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about.
That's a fact.
So
absolutely.
I think we should turn off the TV, turn off Instagram, turn off Facebook, forget about all these memes.
Don't turn off Facebook. We live on Facebook.
Well, yeah, true that. But honestly, though, when we're getting to know people, let's actually go out and try to get to know people instead of just putting on these fucking personas.
Yeah.
And trying to be people
that
we're not.
A good time. I told you, I tell y'all all the time.
Yeah,
really get to know people. Have conversations. talk about things. Talk about what it is that you like, what you don't like, what your interests are. Like, that's how people really get to know people. Not, oh, well, I was watching this show, or I saw this show, or I was on Instagram and this meme. And then, like, no, really talk about things that, you know, people learn.
Who are you?
Right.
Hey, let me drop a little a game for the fellas out there. Like, this is going around Instagram too, and we even talked about that, about the pre-date. The pre-date is very important. That's gonna be the FaceTime phone call. That's gonna be that first, that first good 2-hour call that you have with the girl. You walk around the house, knocking shit over, the hit style joint. Before you get into the big leagues, before you start taking in the Mastros and Joe's and all of the nice restaurants, man, I actually talk about the shit that matters to you. Like, what's her background? Like, where her kids live? Like, where's those skeletons buried? Because you might could deal with them and you might can't. You might find it. Yeah.
One of the biggest things that we miss.
You gotta ask them if they've been G before.
Wait, where's the bell?
So hold on. Do you say it in politically correct? Do you say G or do you say gang bang?
It depends on how much I had to drink.
I was about to say some serious shit.
Or do you use the T word?
I was about to be real serious.
Yeah, do you use the T word? Have you, bro?
Have you ever been teabagged?
Have you been a victim of a train? It depends on how enthusiastically she answers whether that's a red flag.
So what I was about to say.
If she says any form of yes,
you gotta let her go.
What if she says,
what does G entail?
If she asks
the
you what's
answer
the
is not a
definition
solid no off the top,
She's gonna be like, what if somebody was in the room?
she don't look at you like you crazy.
It's a wrap.
Throw her back.
Yeah. Even if she says no.
What if she asks you what's your
like
definition of a train?
I'll tell that waiter, get a warm Moscato and bring us the check.
A Moscato?
Get a warm Moscato.
That's where you went wrong right there.
Because there's nothing else. There's nothing else but a Moscato for that joint. Oh, but listen though. One thing you gotta do is
this is turning to a McAllen 14 episode.
Damn. You have to look at their family background. Because if you can't look, man, that is the most important thing. Because their background and your background has to kind of be similar. Like,
I don't think so. I disagree.
I'm gonna tell you. Let me finish. And I'm gonna tell you why it has to be similar. My opinion. Again, I'm always wrong, but I'm always right. Because no one's right or wrong.
Hey, whatever momentum you had,
that joint is gone.
Know the background for those who have ears.
Yo, I'll say this. Based on what he said, like, I get what you're saying, though, honestly. You just too narcissistic to get it out right.
Too much CBD.
Oh, man.
So, for instance, like, my situation currently, right? Me and my significant other, we have similar backgrounds, but different backgrounds. You understand what I'm saying? We both grew up in a 2-parent household. We both grew up in a household where there's a lot of love, but the love isn't overly expressed in hugs and a bunch of bullshit. It's by actions. However, she grew up in a business-oriented household. I grew up in a paycheck-to-paycheck household. So you know what I mean? There's similarities, but there's big differences.
So I guess
like she's never came home from school and the lights been out.
Right.
She's never.
That wasn't an option.
Let me tell you something.
Or you come home from school, flush the toilet.
You gotta go use your neighbor's next door neighbor's toilet. And
She's
shit.
never ran an extension cord from a window to the next window. She's never done that. But there's other similarities that we do have. You know
But you're open enough, you're open and you're honest with yourself enough to know that, look, there's some things that I didn't know growing up that I can learn from you.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, you probably give her balance because where she's probably been so business oriented and so serious that you give her the ability to kind of be more lax.
Exactly.
Because look, man, we ain't got to put wires to the window. We good. Where people that are so on point that is just like anything can look like it's about to go wrong and they're panicking, but you give that person the balance, just like
relax,
chill, man. We good. It's just a little bit late. It's 30 days late. It's not gonna kill nobody.
It's not gonna go on your credit until it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we get to 60 days. When we get to 60 days, then we got a problem.
I got a problem.
We got 2 days left. I get paid tomorrow.
Right. I got it.
Hey. Growing up in those households, you become a strategic planner.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
do.
saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that shit, but that shit builds you, because like if you grow up like that and then you get to a position where you have money, you just like it's you don't have to be rich to be comfortable. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just
I'm in the camp of 2020. If you're a black family in America, you need to make as much money as you fucking possibly can. Let me say it again for the people in the back. You need to make as much money as you possibly can. Build a financial hedge around your family. So a lot of the issues that we're talking about on this show, you're able to maneuver a lot better. If you come into a legal issue and you can afford a great lawyer, you're good. If somebody in your family gets sick and you can send them to the best doctor, your situation changes. So I'm not with that, be comfortable, but you need to get as rich as you possibly
on that note,
can.
Hold on, I got one more thing
Multiple
to
streams.
piggyback off that. And please, motherfuckers, please get some type of fucking insurance so that your kids don't have to go funny on Facebook.
My daddy died and left me nothing.
That shit.
On that note,
that shit hurts my heart.
you know what time it is.
Cannot.
Oh, it's
We'll
final
get to the
thoughts.
final thoughts.
That nigga left me some debt. That's what he left me.
Final
Juice
thoughts.
Man Dan.
Always remember, before I start my final thoughts, Straight Talk No Chase is a show about our opinions. We don't give a fuck if you agree with us or not. If you disagree with us, please call into the show. Please comment below. Please disagree with us and open up the dialogue. My final thoughts are
I thought he was
these.
about to rap. And you a hoe. If you didn't know.
These are my final thoughts. This week, I started off in the deep South in the 1950s.
Okay, all right.
I rode.
You said deep. I was
hold
like,
on.
hold up.
My eyes are closed, so I'm visualizing where I've been. I rode a train up. Let me get my fucking thoughts
That was
off,
a good
man.
That was a good start of the visualization. Visualization joint.
I rode a train up north to Harlem. And I saw black excellence at its finest in the 50s.
On the train?
Oh man, in Harlem. I rode to Harlem in the train. Man, get my fucking final thoughts, man. I rode to Harlem from the deep South.
What the fuck?
I witnessed black excellence.
Okay.
I
Is this a
witnessed
poem?
black businesses.
I
I witnessed black businesses.
Okay.
I witnessed black ownership. And what I saw in this vision, which was really a novel written by Ralph Ellison, was the same problems that we have now are exactly the same problems we had back then in a different time frame. Reading that book, the difference between then and now is this. They were not waiting on Bloomberg, Bernie Sanders, or anybody to make them get to where they had to go. The laws were stacked against them and they still were able to make their own way. So us relying on anyone from this last debate that we just saw that's going to change our situation, one thing that we have to all remember, we are our own saviors.
Oh, sorry.
Save yourself, because no one's coming for you. Not on a horse, not on a donkey, or not in the Democratic or Republican Party. You are your own savior. For those who have ears.
I believe we all do. Maria.
That was a good final thought, Dan. My final thought. Fucking debate shit show. As far as relationship goes, people, man, y'all just get to know each other, okay? Get to know the real them, not the one with intent, not the surface them, but the real them. Ask questions. Talk about things of value. And yeah, y'all make sure y'all follow us, Straight Talk No Chase, and Ask Miss Smith.
Cosby Digital.
My final thoughts are, once again, I appreciate everyone for listening and tuning in and for your support. You know, we value you, whether we agree with you or not, man. Keep tuning in to like us or keep tuning in to talk shit to us. We like either one. As far as the Democratic debate and just politics in general in United States right now, just educate yourself, get politically savvy. Don't give your vote away following politically correct norms. Figure out what your interests are and vote your interests.
Yep.
And if you don't see anything that's interesting to you, hold your vote down. As far as relationships are concerned, fellas, I mean, step up and do what you got to do. Especially living in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. Just do what you got to do, and it's lovely out here. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know.
The resident single guy?
It's lovely resident single guy. It's lovely out here. Living my best life. But do it with respect and dignity and be honest with people. As long as you're doing it with respect and you honest, ask for what you want, you shall receive what you ask for. That's my final thoughts.
Cosby Digital. Woo! Yo,
Trip.
McAllen.
I don't have too much tonight. It was a great episode. I had a great time. Real quick, Democrats. It's like somebody turned out the lights and they just had a shootout.
Yep.
Nobody knew who the fuck they were shooting at. The niggas were just shooting.
Some people caught a couple strays. Bloomberg caught a couple jumps.
Yeah.
I'm hit.
He was standing in the middle of the room.
I've only been here for 10 weeks and I'm already shot 3 times.
He should have known to take a corner.
And frisk himself.
He got down.
Motherfucking lights went out. He was standing in the middle of the room with the bag of popcorn
as
in
Trump
his
would
hand.
say, Mini Mike Bloomberg was lost in the sauce.
But yeah, as far as they go, yo, just get ready for another 4 years. Get you an LLC, whether you got a business or not.
Yep.
And the rest is history.
Hello.
If you selling booty,
As far as the
booty
baby
hole LLC.
facts. As far as the baby boomers go, I love y'all to death. No disrespect, but just sit your ass down. Pass a baton.
Not the crack pipe.
Not the crack pipe.
At the boat
Pass us
sack.
a baton. If you don't have a baton, just be quiet. Because some baby boomers do have batons. But in general, they have a crack pipe. We don't want that crack pipe.
With the baton.
All right? We're educated, thinking people, and we want to logically go about forecasting the future for our children. So we're not interested in voting just to get Trump out. Because one thing that we realize is, whether it's Trump or any one of the clowns we saw in Nevada last night, none of them are trying to do anything for black people. Now, as far as the relationship question of the week, fellas, it's a cold world out here. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
You might as well do.
So you might as well do. And even if you don't, act like you do. That has been this week's episode of Straight Talk No Chase. We love you. And we're out of here.
Good night.